What's going on, guys? Luke Andy here. I am here to talk about my new label, Groove Motive Records.
How did you get started producing house music?
Yeah, so I started producing rap beats towards the latter years of high school. When I graduated 2016, a buddy of mine took me to Moonrise Festival. At that time, I had no idea what house music was. I got introed to like Ghastly, Chami, and then I ended up seeing Clog on Stroke, and I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
What inspired you to start your record label?
After COVID, there was a little bit of uncertainty as far as like a home for my sound. I really wanted to display like what Luke Andy is, kind of find my own sound. I want Groove Motive to be a place where I can be completely authentic to myself and whatever sound I'm trying to push in that time, and have a place for me to experiment and other artists alike to have a place to be themselves but also make dope shit. That's kind of my mission.
What is the overall mission or vision of your label?
I really want to release, create forward-thinking music. I dare to even say the word timeless, but something that I don't get bored of 10 years from now. I think a lot of us artists go through this. I just want to eventually throw parties, events, to kind of build a community for us to be playing dope gigs in sick venues all across the nation, even the world.
How do you differentiate your label from others in the industry?
Yeah, I think that's one of the hardest parts of this. It's kind of what we all go through as artists. How do we stand out from the masses? There's however many songs being released every day on these streaming platforms. So I'm hoping that the way we market and the way that we brand, that's gonna kind of set us apart. I also think that, of course, the music is gonna play a part of it, and inevitably the community that we end up building, I think, is gonna be a strong factor of how we stand out against the masses. So I'm hoping that all of that together will be our own little unique entity.
What genres or types of music does your label specialize in?
Oh, the genre conversation. Genres are always an interesting topic because we have snobs in every genre. So I dare to even categorize it. I'd say probably under the umbrella of house music, and then I'd say more leaning into a deep tech-ish type of American minimal. I even dare to say the word minimal, but something not tech house, a cooler tech house, something new, something different. I'd shy to categorize it, but I always say dark and sexy. That's kind of what I want. There's always room for funky, there's always room for emotional, there's always room for different feelings. I think it'll change. I don't think we'll have a set in stone style or sound. I think we'll learn as we go, but we'll definitely try to keep it tight. I don't know, we'll learn.
How do you discover and sign artists? Do you have an email set up for that?
I have artists in mind that I'm reaching out to, people that I genuinely want on the label, and then if we hear something and we love it and we think it fits the label, then we'll sign it. We have demos at groovemotiverex.com. You can send us your songs, we'll listen to all of them, and we'd love to hear what you got.
Do you see your label being more focused on tracks for festivals and clubs, or are you interested in developing a broader range of sound?
I think right now what we're focusing on are club tracks, stuff that DJs will support, but honestly, I'm a B-side guy. I eventually want to shy away from just doing singles or VA comps, and I'd love to eventually release like full-length EPs, maybe even albums. I think right now it's important as we're building up to have music that artists want to support, other DJs want to play out. I think that's what's best for exposure in the beginning stages of a label. However, I'm looking forward to releasing, different types of styles and different feelings. It doesn't always have to be peak time. I'd love to sign B-sides as well and make B-sides A-side, but we'll see. I'm learning as I go.
Are there any artists or sets that inspire you over the years?
Yeah, best set I've ever watched in my life, Seth Troxler Chateau. I think it was in France. Beautiful chateau, very green. Played a hybrid set, but mainly all vinyl. He told a story with that set. I'll always replay that set. It's one of my favorites. Favorite set that I saw in person was probably BB last year in Ibiza at DC-10. Maybe his first show back in Ibiza, and he played a 4-hour no phone set at DC-10, and that one was a crazy one for me to experience. So I'd say those two sets are probably the biggest inspirational sets for me right now.
What's your opinion on the current state of the music industry?
Hot take. I think right now there's so many different ways to do it, to find success. I think each artist, they're on their own path. There's no right way to do this. You know, a lot of artists, they struggle with that battle of, do I follow a certain sound, whatever sound that's currently hot right now? Do I try to conform to a style to fit a certain label? I think a lot of us deal with comparison. I don't know if that comes from a sort of famine mentality, like there's not enough success to go around, but I think there is. And I don't think there's any correct roadmap to do this. As it stands, this industry is probably at one of the strongest it's been ever. I mean, we have artists like Mochak and Beltron. Their entire lives have changed from, their music that they made on a laptop. Artists like Summit, who really paved the way and show what can be done with house music in this industry. I think the current state of music, it's at this very, very, very transformative era. And I think it's very important to focus on the fact that we all are on our own path and there's no definite, concrete way of doing this, but to just stay focused, hunker down, work on your sound, and don't give up. A lot of artists, they kind of might feel stagnant. They might not have a home for their sound. They might be getting frustrated, and that's just all a part of the game. You just gotta stay hungry. You gotta keep on working, and eventually everything will fall into place. I think the current state of the music industry is very interesting right now. It's exciting. Kind of like what you said earlier, you gotta do something to stand out. There's a way for all of us to do that in our own ways and still stay true to who we are as artists. It's a daily battle trying to find out what that is for me. I think a lot of other artists can relate with that, but I have hope. I think that this industry is growing and who knows what's gonna happen in the next 2, 3, 5, 10 years. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you're as excited as I am for what's to come. So.